have just completed a mobile and I love it. I keep walking past it and I think, oh, hello there. You are one good looking mobile. Because I was not so sure that I could make one. I used to make wind chimes and I would glue beads to bottles and things like that. And I thought of myself as being like a scrap artist and, you know, upcycling things is I guess what they call it nowadays. And yeah, so I mean, I knew I was like creative, but I didn't really feel like an artist because I thought of an artist as being someone who like paints or sculpts something, but like brings it out from nothing, you know? Whereas I was using like found objects and beads. You know, the thing that I liked about wind chimes, like I find wind chimes to be soothing, but more than anything I like the hanging, like the fact that you hang them, that you put them up high. I like looking up. I like looking around, and so a wind chime is something that you can notice, and I like noticing things. In art, the traditional hanging art piece, you know, tends to be like a mobile, and I've always thought mobiles were really neat, and I like the idea of balance and how they're elegant and kind of slow moving and three-dimensional, and I always thought that was really neat, but I always felt intimidated by the balancing, you know, getting things to balance out. That always felt really difficult to me, like it would be tedious, and so I never tried. I did one mobile for a baby. It was like a baby shower present kind of thing, and it was very spontaneous. I was making wind chimes at the time, and I used like wood and Fimo clay and wire and beads, and it actually turned out to be pretty cool, and I felt really, really proud of it. But then when I gave it to them, I remember it was like on the gift table, and somebody picked it up and they're like, oh, this is kind of heavy. And it was, you know, it had wood and rocks and all this kind of crazy wired together stuff, and it like clicked into my head like, oh my god, people put mobiles like over babies' cribs and stuff. The soundness of my design was suddenly brought into question in my mind, because imagining these rocks over this baby, and then something, you know, a wire slips or something cuts and breaks loose, and oh, and I was like, suddenly just felt like, oh my god, I was not thinking about I was thinking about impressing the parents, but not really the baby thing. So, you know, I told them, I'm like, you know, I just didn't think about it. Don't put it over the baby. Put it maybe across the room, you know, and they were cool about it. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it did, I think subconsciously, I talked myself, I used that for some reason to talk myself out of like, oh no, you tried doing a mobile, look what happened. And it's like, nothing happened. Nothing bad happened, you know, it just wasn't an over the crib kind of mobile. So I decided to make a mobile. I started doing watercolors, you know, pushing color around, making patterns and stuff. And then I got to thinking, I want to hang these. I want to make a mobile. And so I started playing with wire and, you know, poked holes in my little cards, my artist trading cards, and strung some beads and put wax on the cards and just made it, you know, real shiny looking and fun, and it all worked. Like my intuition about different choices in terms of balancing, it worked out, and I love it because it feels like a piece of art. Like it makes me feel like an artist because I made it all, you know. With wind chimes, the pipes, or using silverware, a lot of times it's like I didn't make the metal, I didn't make the, you know, whatever, and the design only came from the beads, but it's like I didn't make the beads either. But with this, with these little, you know, aceos, it's like those are, you know, 20 different little miniature pieces of art, you know, hanging, in the way they kind of move together, and it's colorful and it's fun, and it's kind of, you know, it's got a little bit of wave to it. I'm really, really proud of it. And, you know, Chris and I have talked a lot about my path in terms of mobiles, because I do a lot of different things in terms of how I try and support myself through Etsy, through tarot readings, through doing videos on YouTube, just an eclectic kind of a little movement here, a little movement there, and it all kind of makes a larger picture, you know, that's kind of the goal. And so rather than it being one thing or the other, and so symbolically a mobile really does represent my path right now. And it also, at the sense of completion, because this really is something that in 2000 is when I wanted, you know, when I made the first one, and then I didn't make another one, but I always wanted to. So showing like that I can complete something, and that's something that I need to believe in order to start something, to feel that I can complete it all the way through to the end and not abandon it. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be able to have a life that allows for this kind of exploration, and I feel grateful for having YouTube as an outlet to share with others who are interested in the same kinds of things. So thank you for watching. I am going to put this up on Etsy for sale, and so if you are interested in purchasing it, visit the link in the description box and it will take you to Etsy. And I plan on making more of these too, so keep your eyes open if you like it, because there will be more on their way.
Let's cut out the melodrama.